Hello ladies and genitals, welcome to my second channel. Today I'm going to talk about how to detach from people, how to not get attached, and how to overcome your emotions. Know that majority of the time what we're feeling, especially in terms of addiction or lust, it's just the chemical reaction in your brain and it's not real. So if you watch my manipulation video, all of those tactics work, okay? They even work on me. And you know why? It's because you can't help this chemical reaction in your brain. For example, when someone's doing that hot and cold on you, it works. It works every time. It works on me. But the difference is, because I know that it's just a chemical reaction in my brain, I don't let it affect me. For example, this guy was doing hot and cold on me, and when he started doing that, even though it low-key made me obsessed with him, I never replied to him again. I'm still thinking about him right now. Because of the reaction in my brain, I'm still thinking about him, but I didn't act on it because I know that it's not real. Additionally, how to not get attached. I talked about this in I think it's my dating video on my main channel, but I'm really against talking stages. I think they're juvenile. They should have been left in high school and early university. What happens in a talking stage? You get attached so easily because you're talking to them every day. You're calling them. You're always checking your phone. You're waiting for that dopamine hit, that message that they're sending to you. By the time you meet up, two things can happen. One, it goes really well. Two, you meet them, they're nothing like what they are online. Now you've wasted all this time. Now at this point, you're likely already attached to them, which means you're even more likely to ignore the red flags, ignore the fact that you don't like them that much in real life, and then give them a chance. And that's dangerous. Been there, done that, never made that mistake ever again. If I'm interested in someone romantically, you plan a date. We can very briefly talk before meeting, but if you want to message me every day, I'm not doing it. I've had guys do this recently, and I will literally say to them, why are you messaging me every day? And then they're usually like, oh, I just want to talk and get to know you. I'm like, get to know me in real life. Because I find, you know, chemical thing in your brain, the moment I start talking to them too much, you're done. You're attached already. Luckily for me, this attachment breaks in like a couple of days, and because I know it's not real, I get over it faster. I just don't think it's a good idea. And people are very different online to what they are in real life. Some people, you may not even like them in real life. Some people, you may not like them over text, and then you meet them in real life and they're surprisingly completely nothing like their dating profile. Also, if you're dating, you don't want to waste time, right? You don't want to get into like 5 talking stages. Do you know how much energy that takes? Like dopamine, the serotonin going crazy. They just want this person. The chemicals are dying for this person right now. When I went through my breakup, I literally thought I was gonna die. It was that bad. I was like, if I get back with him, I will die. If I don't get back with him, I will also die. And then give it 2 weeks, my oxytocin went down, whatever. I pretty much didn't care about him anymore. Like, I was still healing for a while, but I didn't feel like I was dying. I stopped crying. That's also because I went no contact. So I think a lot of it at the beginning, it's just a mind battle. That's why when you hook up with someone, if you just want to have sex, you don't want to catch feelings or get in a situationship, then don't hug them. Don't do anything which is going to bond you to them. Sex can bond you, of course, but you're going to bond further if you're sharing intimate details or you're cuddling afterwards. You know, try to keep that to a minimum. Also know that if you're going through a rough breakup, it's likely that every single week you're going to feel very different. You'll have new clarity on the situation. That's what happened to me. And you don't need closure. Closure is a myth, because what happens? So you're thinking, okay, I really need closure from this person. And then you message them. Perhaps in the moment you get the closure, but guess what? You're gonna ruminate over what they said for the next week. And there will be something in what that person said that will make you go, wait, what? I need closure on this now. And it will just be ongoing. And I promise you that you will get closure from yourself over time. It's really like a waiting game, but you also have to consciously make the decision to heal. If you just want to mope, cry, stalk them, it will be a million times more difficult to get over this person. And one thing about the internet now is that I feel like, especially on TikTok, it's such a joke to not be over your ex. Like, you see the TikToks and people are like, when I meet a new person that's perfect for me, but they don't know I'm in love with my ex. Or on my wedding day, checking the story of that one situationship that ghosted me. Like, it's so normalized nowadays, and I don't think it should be. If this person broke up with you, or they were disrespectful to you in any way, shape or form, don't even say a word to them. If they cheated on you especially, you better never ever ever get back with them. Disrespect equals GTFO immediately. Okay? Don't let it slide. The moment someone disrespects you, they will do it again and again and again. Especially if this is happening at the beginning of the relationship or the beginning of the dating stage, because this is when they should be putting their best foot forward. And if they can't even put their best foot forward, imagine how it will be later on. Also, people are always revealing themselves in little subtle ways. Not too long ago, I was casually like speaking to this guy who did come from a very, very wealthy family, but you would never ever know he was rich because he was so low-key. And man, he really outed himself about what a sexist, misogynistic pig he was. Because I told him my job. I didn't tell him I did YouTube. Told him, yeah, I work in marketing, which I do. He forgot about this. Forgot. And then he DM'd me, he asked me again, what do you do? And he goes, oh yeah, you do that jewelry making thing, right? You make jewelry. Can you make me a ring? FYI, he's talking about my En Route collaboration, which is not my company. But if he thought this was my company, En Route looks like a very established company. Yet he demeaned it by saying, you make jewelry, can you hand make me some rings? I said, no, that's not my job, it's a collaboration I did. His response sent me into orbit. He said, women have it so easy. You live life on easy mode. And then he proceeded to say, when I didn't reply, if we can't have this banter and I can't say little sarcastic remarks like this, and I don't think it's gonna work. And I was like, no shit, because why would I want to date a misogynistic pig? Also, who are you to say women live life in easy mode when you live off your parents' money? You're a trust fund baby. Okay, how someone does one thing is how they are gonna do everything. You have to analyze how someone does one thing really, and then you can extrapolate that into other circumstances. When I first met one of my exes, he had a lot of subtle red flags, but I brought them up to him and he said, I don't really know these things, you know, my parents didn't teach me about this. It will only get better, Simone. I will change. And did it get better? Hell no. The little tiny things I saw lasted throughout the relationship, and yeah, I extrapolated. It happened in different circumstances. And ladies, if he cheats on you, men, if she cheats on you, if you get back with them, you are doing the biggest disservice to yourself. You are saying, I'm not worthy of respect, love, or loyalty. You can't get back with them. I don't care how much you love them. They don't love you. Dude, it's so embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed if you get back with an ex that cheats on you. I know how hard it is to walk away from people, especially because, you know, we talked about the oxytocin, the dopamine. Just think of it like a drug addiction, because technically it is. You have to treat it like a drug addiction almost. Cut them off. You don't want to see them. They're dead to you. Also, I feel like it should be really easy to get over someone that doesn't treat you right, but I completely understand, especially women, we bond more quickly and easily than men, and we like a guy, we try to mold them to our ideals. And I think that's something you actually have to consciously be like, what am I doing? Do I like this person? And think logically and not let your heart override the brain. And what I do is I go into my notes and I write out the red flags. I do the whole pros cons list. So sometimes we need to be conscious of who we like. Also, don't let anyone tell you that you're not going to find someone better than them. You 100% will, especially if they were crap. You really can only go up from here unless you're not learning from your mistakes or you just have really poor taste. Some people pride themselves on poor taste. Like one of my friends, she has the literal worst taste in guys, and she loves it. She loves getting heartbroken. She loves getting cheated on. And I said, girlfriend, you need to go to therapy, because one day this will bite you in the ass. Like, it may be fun in your 20s, but it's not going to be fun later on. I think some people just enjoy playing the victim, really. I also don't recommend going and getting a rebound. I feel like the main difference between how men and women heal is that men will go get under someone else in order to get over someone. Women, most of us, we tend to heal peacefully with our friends, not on a dating app. And that is why there's studies which have shown guys never really get over their exes, because they just push the pain down. They get on top of someone else. But girls, we sort through our emotions and we deal with it. We confront the pain. And that's always the best way to get over a breakup, because you don't want to be lingering over someone years and years later. One thing that I did during my breakup was I never tried to distract myself. In fact, it made me feel more and more pain, because when the distraction was gone, I had to sit there and think about it, and the pain would hit me even harder. So I really just allowed myself to sit with my emotions and deal with it. And I wasn't with friends all the time, because friends are just another distraction. And ultimately, you're going to be alone at the end of the day. And when you're alone, you don't want to be afraid of that. How do I get over a crush? First of all, crushes are actually a severe waste of time when you think about it, because they offer nothing but like a little excitement in your life. Crushes do more bad than they do good, because they just take time away from your life. And to be honest, if I have a crush on someone, it's just the hormones. It's just the oxytocin, the dopamine, the chemicals. 2, if I have a crush on someone and I'm not pursuing them, or they're not pursuing me, I know they're probably not good for me, because best believe, if I found the right man, that's not going to be a crush, that's going to be my husband. So if you want to get over your crush, a situationship, do the rational thinking. Like, make the list of things you don't like about them, the red flags, why they're incompatible to you, what you deserve, what qualities do you want in a partner. And something I also write out is, if I date this person, or if I stay with them, what disservice am I doing to myself? What am I saying about myself? So let's say you stay with someone that is cheating on you, but you love him so much you can't leave. Okay, I would say, by staying with him, I'm demonstrating that I don't respect myself. I'm demonstrating I hate myself. I will be miserable. Deep inside, I know I will never trust him. You have to be brutally honest. And honesty hurts, and a lot of people, they just shy away from the truth because they would rather be ignorant than have someone like me right now in your face telling you that you're being a loser for staying with them. But you really just got to get through the first couple of weeks. I'm telling you, that is when the addiction will start to die if you don't feed it. But it's absolutely crucial you go no contact. Block them and never ever unblock them again. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like I went on a couple of tangents here. Don't forget to subscribe to my main channel, and I will see you very, very shortly. I can confidently say I've never been in a talking stage, and I do not plan on it. It's really important that you guys are able to distinguish between what's real and what's not. For example, like I told you, that guy was doing hot and cold on me. Made me obsessed because reaction in my brain. But because I know what I know, I didn't react on it. And I knew what he was doing. Therefore, I never replied to him again. Versus, if you don't know this stuff, you'll probably just think, oh my god, I like this guy so much now. Why do I like this guy so much? I'm in love with him. There must be something about him that's great if I like him. No, it's just the dopamine and the oxytocin, I promise you. Additionally, when dating, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Men hate when I say this. Every video when I'm like, women, even guys, you need to date multiple people. Because think about it this way, you only date one person, you invest all your time into one person. You don't even know if there's better people out there who are suited for you. Additionally, now you have all this time to obsess over one person. And also, you are single and not in a relationship until they ask you. Also, detached energy is a lot more attractive. Energy is everything. When someone is obsessed with me and they're so needy, I get really freaked out. Don't you have a life? I don't want to get into a relationship where someone's entire life is me. That's terrifying and unhealthy. Maybe if you're into toxic relationships, you'll love that, but that is a really big red flag in my opinion. Also, if you're someone that finds themselves getting attached to people really easily, you need to introspect on why that is. You're probably missing something in your life, which is why you're seeking it in another person. And I think once you're able to identify this and work on it, your obsession and attachment with other people will very quickly diminish. To prevent attachment very fast, avoid revealing personal information too early on. Like, someone has to work to know the personal stuff about you. You can't just like freely give it out. Something from their life, they see it in your life, and if they're mentally ill, they're going to paint that picture and actually believe it. But an exercise I want you guys to do, think about in what ways you're obsessing over them. Are you excessively checking their activity? Who are they following online? What are they doing? You need to stop. You need to actually cold turkey cut that behavior off. And you need to get a job. You need to get a hobby. You need to bring that energy and focus it onto yourself. Unemployed activities, man. Think about all those hours you spend thinking about them, obsessing over them, manifesting them, that you could spend onto building your own life. Because remember, they have something you want. Have it for yourself. And I bet you that person probably isn't even that great. You just make them seem to be really great. If you're obsessed, it's also likely that person has now become a part of your daily routine. So maybe you wake up and you think about them, or you're even when you're mindlessly doing activities, you notice you're doing it thinking like they're a third-party observer, which is quite common. Guilty, but you have to notice these behaviors and just cut it off. And it's easier said than done. So when you notice it, actually just go, stop. Stop. Or I give this thought to the universe. I give this thought to God. Surrender it. The secret really is just pulling your energy back and focusing on yourself. Like I said, once you figure out what they have that you want, you can entirely focus on bringing that thing into your life. I love this quote. I talk about it a lot recently. Build a beautiful garden and the butterflies are going to come. You might have a dead garden right now. You're attracting wasps and other bugs that you don't want there. You want to attract the butterflies, the bees, and the birds. And you do that by building a beautiful garden yourself. And in that process, you're actually warding off all the people who do not belong in that garden. If you have a garden that's rotten and moldy and not taken care of, you're going to attract rats and flies, right? Because they're attracted to the dirt and the dust and everything gross. You're not going to get a butterfly who wants to go into that garden. But if you now have a beautiful garden, is that rat going to want to come into there? There's nothing for them to even eat. There's no rotten food. You're warding them off naturally, which is why the best protection for manipulation, for also becoming obsessed with another person, is simply by working on your own garden and building that. And if you guys just implemented that, you wouldn't have to watch any of these videos as well. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to watch the manipulation video on my main channel, and let's get you over that person and protect you from manipulators and etc. Ich liebe dich. Tschüss.